you've already alluded to some of the destinations that you're working on. Tell us a little bit what's in the pipeline. What are some of the big things you're working on in the next months and years?
I'm very excited. We've signed on Amazon in UAE,
excellent.
the regional office. So we're doing leadership in challenging times. So we signed a couple of cohorts, and we're gonna run our first pilot in 2 weeks.
Mashallah.
We're opening our office in Saudi Arabia very soon, before the end of the year. So we have representation here, and we can be closer to our clients here, since about 60% of our business is in Saudi. I'm working on to complete my 2 books, which will be published by the end of the year. My second and my third book, which will be by the end of the year.
No. You're not going to get by. We're a big fan of. I was going to ask you next, what books would you recommend? What's your first book?
My first book, called Ace Your Service: Achieving Customer Engagement.
Okay, very good.
Which is a series of stories and different topics of
available on Amazon.
It's not available on Amazon. It is available on Fast Pencil, but it will be available. You'll
give us the link, and we'll put it in the link for people who want to.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And the next 2 books.
The second book that I finished writing is called The Ultimate Guide for Today's Modern Leaders. And the third one is very personal. It's called A Journey of Emotions. It's a book on the different emotions that I don't say govern us, but they guard us. Yeah. And it's a series of quotations, poems, little stories, and with a focus on emotional intelligence and how each emotion in our lives has again, the dark side and the bright side, but how do we choose to live a life of happiness and a life of fulfillment? And I'm also completed writing a children's book, 3 books on
the children, a book for CEOs and children. Just kidding.
Yeah. Called The Adventures of Palumba and Friends. It's a book it's a story that I started telling my daughter when she was born. She's now almost 14 years old. Haytham and I used to tell her these stories about these 3 animals that are really good friends, and now it evolved into a much more deep story to my son Alexander, who's 3 years old today.
Wonderful!
Happy
Congratulations!
Birthday,
Happy birthday!
So now, because he's inspired me to put it into a book, because he loves hearing my stories and he asks me about it all the time, and I give him different versions, and I focus on friendship and principle and courage and stuff. So, I'm trying to be a good coach to.
Please send me the links where one can get all of your publications so that we can put it into the link.
Will do, for sure.
Last question I kind of like to ask people when they come into the podcast: are there people that have inspired you? Are there books on leadership? What are the top 3 to 4 leadership books that you would recommend if you were to recommend somebody to start reading on leadership? Look, you've already mentioned one, The Speed of Trust, which is a sensational book, right?
One of them. There's amazing books out there, but there's something that every leader should have on their shelves. Is The Speed of Trust, Principle-Centered Leadership.
Oh my God! You didn't say that, did you? Nobody knows that book.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
And every time I talk about it, it's like, what is that? It's a big book, by the way. And they're like, what is it? I'm like, God, please read it. So much good information.
What are principles? Why do we need principles? Isn't that outdated?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And of course, for me, is The 7 Habits. I know they all almost come from the same family, but you know what? I mean, these are the books that left an impact on me. Of course, you can read a lot of other books, but those are the things that you should have on your shelf. Read them once, and then read them again, and then read them again. Yeah. And those are the 3 things that I would say.
Wonderful.
That are must read. And
I'm happy it's coming out of
hopefully you read mine soon.
Yeah. I'm happy it's coming out of your mouth, because my film team is sick and tired of hearing me talk about them. Wonderful. You're also very, very active on social media. We'll put you're on Instagram. You're on LinkedIn? Are you on Instagram?
LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X.
Okay.
I'm on all of these.
And you're also doing a podcast.
Yeah, I'm launching my podcast towards the end of the year called Couch Conversations.
Very good. Very, very
all right,
good.
Which is getting people, not just leaders. The first couch conversation I'm going to have is with my wife,
Very good.
Because her and I are born on the same day. We're both Geminis. We both have the same drive, and we have amazing conversations. So we're going to talk about, relationships and ups and downs and what makes a happy relationship. That's going to be my first podcast.
That is a wonderful, wonderful, scary idea.
Yeah.
But it's a great, I like it. I wish you both lots of luck with that.
Thank you so much. And I can't wait to see you back in Dubai so we can host you over for dinner. And follow my Instagram.
I do.
Hayssam,
I'm not on your Instagram. I'm following you on LinkedIn, but I'll definitely reach out to you on Instagram as well.
Instagram professional page, but follow me also on my personal page where I show my cooking ability. I'm a
Lubnani or everything.
Proclaimed. I do my own dishes. I don't follow any recipes. I create my own dishes, and I'll send you the link. It's for my travel, my cooking, and my adventures with my family account.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Hayssam, it has been an absolute pleasure.
Likewise.
Okay.
It went a lot better than I expected, but again, maybe not. We've had that sort of same tonality and connection since we met in Dubai. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mark, for hosting me on this. And
my pleasure. Like I said, one of my missions with the podcast is to let the world know that there are passionate warriors of the light out there. And if I meet them, I like to share them with the world. And it was a pleasure that I could introduce you to my extended network, and I hope you'll get lots of reverberation and good vibes from this podcast.
Merci beaucoup. Vielen Dank, my friend. Thank you so much.
Okay. All the best.
Shukran. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All the best, Hayssam. Ciao.
Take care.